Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on itmiradio.com. Just finishing off the Red Bastard Sports Show. It is I, Kenny C, here, and I hope everybody's having a good week. I'm going to go ahead and get Jeff on the line, and we can get this show going. Tonight, we'll recap Raw, SmackDown, Impact, and an interview with indie pro wrestler Kimberly. She joins us at the bottom of the hour. So it's just another 1 hour show of your wrestling needs and wants and discussions and such. So trying to get Jeff on the line here. We're going to get this show going. And I'll work on a new intro for the show eventually. But this is how the show is going to work.
What's up, brother, man?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm very good. I am happy to announce, and this is the only way I'm gonna get this out anyway. I got my old job back as of today, and I'll be back to work sometime next week.
Cool. Do we got to move the show?
No, we don't have to move it.
Beautiful.
Since the show is on Saturday nights, I can work on Saturday with no conflicts.
Excellent.
So, Chilling will still be on at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, screw those people in the Central. Who gives a about that?
Well, you don't, but I do. So, that's how I roll.
Yeah, fuck those people who live in the Central. That's what you get for living there.
Okay, so...
What's up, Rocket Man and Fozzy and Dark Angel and Madam? What's up, all you freaks listening to the show?
Yeah, so thank you, everyone, for listening to us, and let's go ahead and get to the WWE portion. Oh, I definitely got to talk about Evan Bourne's second strike. In case you haven't heard, the former tag team champion has been busted again. Second violation of the talent wellness program, and as of this past Tuesday, he just began his 60-day suspension.
That's why they lost the belts, right?
Yeah, this past Sunday at a non-televised show in Sacramento.
Right. Then Monday night they did it again and didn't beat them.
Yeah, Monday night they got their rematch and they lost. So Kofi Kingston gonna have to go solo now. And Evan Bourne, who knows what's gonna happen to him when he gets back. But I think Air Boom as a tag team are done. It's hard to be a tag team when one of your teammates just keeps getting himself in trouble.
He shoots up.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not good.
And the interesting thing is when WWE posts this stuff about wrestlers failing a drug test or whatever, they don't even reveal what the drug he was on. It could have been steroid, it could have been any other drug or whatever. And not only that, this is his second time in many months that he got violated. And Fozzy pointed out best, one more violation and he's done in the WWE. He's done. Luckily for WWE, he's not a big star. He's not a household name. He's not a Cena or a Punk or any of those guys. He's just a mid-card talent. I mean, he can wrestle. He's just not making smart decisions outside the ring, apparently. So, one more violation for Evan Bourne. He's done with the WWE. He's fired. And that ain't storyline or nothing. That's real. Let's go ahead and recap SmackDown here. The big story from SmackDown last week is Daniel Bryan retained his World Heavyweight Championship over Big Show, and he didn't even need to beat the guy. See, last week it was a no DQ, no count out match. I guess that's Teddy Long's way of saying, hey, you can't weasel your way out of this one. You got to beat the guy. You got to pin him or submit, make him tap out. Well, Daniel Bryan was getting chased by the Big Show, and out of the blue, his girlfriend AJ happens to be in the ring, and Big Show must have forgot to pump the brakes because he just ran the chick over.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking idiot for having her out there in the first place.
Uh, I think
Daniel Bryan.
that was meant to happen.
Yeah,
Knowing,
of course.
yeah, that, and especially when earlier on SmackDown, AJ was all flustered and said, "You know what? No matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, I love you no matter what." And I think that's Daniel Bryan. He took it as that she has no faith that he can beat the Big Show. So they end up talking again, and he said, "You really love me no matter what? Let's talk backstage." And they knew what the plan was and mission accomplished. Unfortunately for AJ, she suffered head trauma over it because of it.
Shit.
I mean, she got that woman. If you take a good look at AJ, she don't even look like she weighed 100 pounds. I mean, if that was maybe a 200-pound woman got ran over, she wouldn't be hurt that bad. But because of how skinny AJ is, I mean, that's just a collision waiting to happen. So,
Daniel Bryan's fault. That's
yeah.
who I blame.
And now he's not out of the woods just yet because tomorrow night on SmackDown, when they head to Las Vegas, Mark Henry finally gets his one-on-one title opportunity, and it is against Daniel Bryan. Now, let's see how he weasel his way out of this one with no AJ at ringside. Other things that happened: David Otunga defeated Santino Marella. Ted DiBiase Jr., as I like to call him, defeated Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre ain't looking too good right now. Getting paid a lot of money and not showing good results. Cody Rhodes continued his momentum by defeating Ezekiel Jackson. Battle of the former Nexus and Core members. Justin Gabriel defeated Heath Slater with assistance from Hornswoggle. And the Great White Sheamus defeated Jinder Mahal. Now, oh, and almost forgot one more match. Two more matches, actually. Tamina Snuka, who is the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka, for the second week in a row, defeated Natalia. And Brodus Clay continued his Funkasaurus return as he defeated Tyson Kidd.
So stupid.
Uh, so you're not a fan of the whole Funkasaurus thing?
No. No.
I didn't know what to think of it at first, but hey, I like funk. I like Soul Train. Just that vibe at least. I think it's a good look for Brodus Clay. He could have easily come back, like I said last week. He could have easily tried to be a tough guy, intimidating guy like he was when he was Alberto Del Rio's bodyguard. But they switched it up on him, and he went along with it. And so far, he's getting good reactions. He got signs that saying "Somebody better call my mama," which happens to be the name of his theme song. And yeah, I like this new Brodus Clay, and maybe this will be one thing that WWE can't even screw up. It's a good thing going. We'll see what happens. Now on to Monday Night Raw, and I'll get to more Daniel Bryan momentarily. But obviously, one of the big stories is Zack Ryder, no longer the United States champion. Just a week after getting chokeslammed by Kane, he had to, he being the fighting champion, didn't want to go, he didn't want to surrender the belt. And his apparently girlfriend Eve trying to convince him, you should not be go out there competing tonight after what Kane did to you. As goofy as Zack Ryder is, he didn't go out like a punk. He manned up, faced Jack Swagger, defended the title.
Got his ass fucking beat.
Yeah, he did. But if you're gonna go out, go, have some pride and dignity.
Then fucking John Cena came out and beat the crap out of his fucking Swagger.
Yes, he did. So, uh, so yeah, Jack Swagger is now the new United States champion.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
so
gonna be a rematch for freaking what the next event that's coming up. I bet you.
at the Royal Rumble, you think so?
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, if Wilder can get his whips healed in time, then absolutely, I say he will.
I hope he's
Uh,
tapping that ass of Eve. I really do.
you like Eve, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. I hope he's tapping that shit.
She's a good looker. There's no denying that. Uh, so I
I'd
mean,
tap that shit
it's
if I
funny.
could.
It's funny because most of 2011, Zack Ryder spent that time trying to get noticed, trying to get himself out there, and WWE wouldn't do nothing until John Cena, CM Punk, and other guys say, you know what, this guy should get a push. So he went through this YouTube show. Started to become a household name. In December, he defeated Dolph Ziggler for the U.S. title, and now and Eve starts flirting with him. And then a month after winning the gold, he loses it to Jack Swagger. So all that hard work only for a month title reign. Well, at least it was longer than Big Show's 45 seconds. He's got that going for him. And as we was talking about earlier on the show, Primo and Epico, new tag team champions over the past weekend, and they retained the belts over Airboom. So we already went through that. Bella Twins took on Kelly Kelly and Alicia Fox with an appearance from gossip blogger Perez Hilton. Now he did the Divas boot camp a while ago, and WWE felt okay, let him get involved in the Divas. And speaking of Divas, where the hell is Beth Phoenix? She's the only champion that hasn't made a televised appearance since the New Year started.
Cause she sucks.
She is the Divas champion. She's the
She
best
shouldn't be.
wrestler. She's
She
the.
shouldn't be.
Who do you think should be?
Uh, whatchamacallit, Kelly Kelly or Eve?
Now Eve, I would say yeah. Kelly Kelly, you know, people ain't
Imagine
going.
those two. Imagine those having those two in a threesome. Wow, how much fun that would be. Ooh,
Uh,
man.
but bottom line is there's been a lot of reports and rumors asking why Beth Phoenix hasn't been on WWE television in this year yet. Some say maybe she's pregnant. That's not true. Some say something, maybe a running with a fellow wrestler. That's not true. Maybe they just saving her for something leading up into the Royal Rumble. She was in the Royal Rumble last year, if I recall, the Royal Rumble match, and she eliminated the Great Khali. Yes, 7 foot tall Great Khali. That is embarrassing even for Khali standards. Now, if you're gonna be eliminated by a female, you might as well be Beth Phoenix. But just by a female, that ain't a good look. But Beth Phoenix has been MIA. She's the only champion that's yet to appear on television. So, well, I think they saving her for something. I just can't figure it out what. Also, what happened on Monday Night Raw? Sheamus, Ray Barrett, Miz, and R-Truth had a over-the-top rope challenge, and R-Truth goes on to win that match. Now, prior to it, R-Truth and Ray Barrett had a discussion, and being that they were at Anaheim last week, um, R-Truth was talking about little Jimmy being at Disneyland. I thought that was funny. And Ray Barrett he just didn't take that too kindly. So, has Great Khali been fired? I don't think so, Fozzy. I believe he is still in the WWE active roster. He's still there. He's. I mean, what's the point of using the guy at this point? I mean, somehow he's a former World Heavyweight Champion. If you think about it, he's probably the only World Heavyweight Champion I can recall that's had a disappointing WWE career. He really ain't done nothing much since he lost that world title years ago. He's been a disappointment. So he hasn't been fired. So he's still in the roster, and I don't know what else they're gonna do with him. But you might as well let the guy go. He made the most out of his opportunities. Let's see. Brodus Clay defeated JTG, continue his push, his momentum. John Cena, like you said, beat the hell out of Jack Swagger. Cena obviously not happy the way that Zack Ryder was treated. Oh, and speaking of Zack Ryder, get a load of this. John Laurinaitis was handed a envelope by David Otunga. That envelope stated that Zack Ryder should not even competed in in the first place. He wasn't medical clear to compete, and John Laurinaitis just decided to to inform Zack Ryder after he lost the title. So apparently CM Punk ain't the only person that Laurinaitis don't want as champion. He don't want Zack Ryder to be a champion either. Uh, Jack Swagger. Yeah, so much for celebrating you being new champion. I mean, he put the stairs on him. He annihilated the dude. Uh, and can you imagine if Vicky Guerrero, who is the valet, have United States champion and WWE champion in her clientele? Now Dolph Ziggler has he has definitely a big chance, especially with Laurinaitis being a special guest referee. So, and I'm gonna definitely get to CM Punk in a matter of moments. As a matter of fact, let's get to CM Punk right now. It was a six-man tag team match as the main event. It was David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry against Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and the returning Chris Jericho. It was Chris Jericho's first WWE match in over a year and a half. Chris Jericho did what he's done over the last 2 weeks. Absolutely nothing. When he got the tag, he got the crowd all excited, and then he tagged Daniel Bryan and just left.
A douchebag.
He hasn't said a word. He hasn't done nothing. So
No, what the fuck are they paying him for?
it's a gimmick. It's the
So
gimmick.
stupid.
He's gonna talk eventually, but this is what he's doing, and he's just gonna go along with it. Yeah, yeah. For him to be a good guy just 2 weeks in, and now all of a sudden he's a bad guy. Well, either way, Jericho's gonna be all right. But apparently, people are just like, "Come on, say something. They'll talk." You know, you've been promoted as this guy talking about the end begins or whatever, and the only relevant thing you done is left Daniel Bryan and CM Punk hanging. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention this. Mick Foley was on Monday Night Raw this past week. He wanted to put his name in the Royal Rumble match. John Laurinaitis not gonna let that happen. So, and it was a elimination match.
John Laurinaitis needs to get his and get his fucking hard.
John Laurinaitis, he acts like he has
You shitting me?
he acts like he has everything under control. Now he doesn't have everything under control. And his main problem is CM Punk. If you think that things are gonna turn out nice and smoothly, it ain't. I mean, ask Triple H and see how he ended up. He said to be back for a while recently.
Hey, tell your sister I says hello.
I will, man.
I can hear him in the background.
I know.
That's why I said that.
I'm just.
I know, man. You're. I know. I know. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. Don't
yeah,
let it bother you.
I know. Um,
Playing
yeah.
around with you. You
So
know that.
yeah, I know. So as the match went on, the six-man tag team match, Mick Foley decides to help out CM Punk, and he ended up getting the victory for the team. But John Laurinaitis, the party pooper, got involved and said that he wasn't a legal person in the match. So he overrules the referee's decision and named Otunga, Henry, and Ziggler as the winner. And that's when CM Punk decided to drop some pipe bombs on Mr. Laurinaitis. Now, the main thing he wanted to hear is that he doesn't like him. He doesn't want him to be WWE champion. He goes off saying that, you know what, the only reason you're going after me because you wish you were me. You wish you had the talent that I had. You don't. You're a nobody. And then to be higher powers that be, you're even more worthless than you were in your wrestling career. And John Laurinaitis, you normally think this guy keeps his cool, but he lost his cool when he took a sucker punch at Mick Foley. And then he,
Yeah. Did you see? Did you see that every time Punk was saying stuff to him, you see him moving his neck like he was getting all pissed off, like he wanted
yeah,
to hit him. You see him doing
yes.
that shoulder move and that neck move. I was like, that's gay, dude. Stop that.
Well, he he was losing his cool. He wasn't Johnny Cool. He
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 wasn't.
he lost his composure, and it's funny he didn't want to take a shot at CM Punk, but he went after Mick Foley. And Laurinaitis admitted that he's going to make sure that Dolph Ziggler becomes the new WWE champion. He is the special guest referee coming up at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Speaking of which, they just added John Cena versus Kane as a
Told you.
match.
I knew that was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
John Cena versus Kane. It's going to be Kane's first match since he came back. So uh, all Kane's been trying to do to John Cena is to embrace the hate, and I think John Cena got the memo when he beat the hell out of Swagger. If that was if that was Kane's way of trying to get to Cena, then maybe he gets it. But if you think John Cena's going to quote unquote, he's not going to embrace it. He's going to rise above it. That's just who he is. He's not gonna let the crowd get to him. And I think we all waiting for that one moment when John Cena just say, "The hell with you fans, I'm doing things my way." People are just waiting for him to turn heel. And if
Mm-hmm.
and this is Kane's way of trying to do that, and he's gonna keep going. He's not gonna stop. And not only are they gonna face each other at the Royal Rumble, they both gonna be in the Royal Rumble match. So all Cena wants is to take his frustration out, but he's not gonna take it out because Kane wants him to. He wants to do it his way. He wants to do it John Cena way. Rise above hate. Don't get all caught up with this whole embracing the hate. You know, if you're gonna embrace the hate, then you don't have a pulse. At least that's what John Cena feels. So I like this Kane and Cena feud, and I'm a tweet to see where it goes come the Royal Rumble. Uh, and I think we pretty much went through everything. A recap of the WWE. Now, of course, at the top of the show, we talked about Evan Bourne being suspended for 60 days. Second violation of the Talents Wellness Program. Now these wrestlers get randomly tested, and why is my Skype saying that I'm offline? I
I
am.
hear you. Just keep going.
Yeah, but
Welcome.
fuck Skype.
Mm-hmm.
So Evan Bourne, who has all this talent, who has his opportunities right in front of him, get to travel all over the world, and yet he's dropping the ball. Now, he doesn't have much of a personality to begin with, but I'm not going to say he's Jeff Hardy because at least Jeff Hardy had success as a singles competitor. All people get caught up about Evan Bourne is waiting for the airborne move, the shooting star press.
Hmm.
So he's a good wrestler. He just ain't making good decisions outside the ring. And whatever he's smoking or whatever drug he has in his body, someone needs to tell him to stop. At least Kofi Kingston, his tag team partner, this happened twice since Airborne's become a tag team. So either Kofi's not doing anything, is if either Kofi is not getting to Evan, or Vince McMahon's not getting to Evan, or what. But he's on thin ice. He's like Drew McIntyre, except this ain't a storyline. This is real. And as Fozzy said, one more strike, he's done. He's gonna be fired. That's what happened to Carlito. He was failing drug tests left and right, and it cost him his job. Had all the talent, and yet he failed violations after violations. People could say what they want about wrestling. At least in the WWE's case, they got this going on, so that they know that they're not. You, so that they know that you're not going to get a bunch of drug wrestlers. You know, if you, it's a privilege. It's not a given. It's a privilege to be in the WWE.
Hmm.
And if you're going to violate that privilege, you're going to be punished for it. And Evan Bourne, maybe after the 60-day suspension, he'll get it, but who knows? To be fair, he might not have taken it on his choice. He could have been given to him without knowing. Well, if this happened on baseball or any other sport, nobody wants to hear that. You know, these are athletes. Wrestlers, I do consider them as athletes. They know what they put in their bodies and what don't they put in their bodies. They need to look at the ingredients of whatever it is they are taking before they even, or at least when you're purchasing something, just ask the person what's in this stuff. Is it drugs? Is it steroids or something? You know, I hope that it is this because Evan Bourne's not a bad guy. He doesn't get in trouble with the law or anything like that. He's not one of those wrestlers that's going to be a headache. It's just, I don't know, bad choices, I guess. So he needs to think long and hard once the suspension ends. And the Royal Rumble is going to be in his hometown of in St. Louis.
I know, so you better fix that shit.
So he's not gonna get that hometown greeting. He's not gonna get to, and he's not only that, he may even miss WrestleMania too. Or he, I think regardless, he just need to get his act together. I hope he doesn't get fired. He is very talented. Don't want to lose him to TNA, aka Old Timers Wrestling. TNA can need him for that X division. X division hasn't been the same, man. I watched TNA. The main reason I became a fan of TNA is because of their X division. Their X division is just a bunch of no names. All the guys that were in the X division, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, they now move up to the heavyweight division. So they need somebody. And if Evan Bourne were to screw up again and TNA was willing to give him an opportunity, he would be a good fit in that X division. He would be a good fit. But Evan Bourne just needs to think long and hard on what he really wants to do. Because he's too talented to let this opportunity slip away. And when you mess up, you know, especially in this case, you're not gonna get another opportunity. Right now, I'm waiting for our guest to call in, Kimberly. But with Skype acting the way that it is, going on and off, uh, I just have to hope that the call goes through. So, Skype's been acting this way. Maybe I need to uninstall Skype and reinstall it again, at least after this show. But I don't want to lose all my contacts or anything. That's my concern. Um, so hopefully Kimberly can get through my Skype flaws and we can get this interview going. Uh, Coming up a little bit later, we're gonna recap Impact, and they have a pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks called Against All Odds. And speaking of which, I met Andrew for the first time since I moved back. I was at
Really?
yeah, we was at this local wrestling show called UWF. It's located at Georgetown. He first heard of it because of me, and then he started going. And then I decided on Sunday, this past Sunday actually, I went there. And then I didn't even know he was going to go there. He didn't inform me that he was going to be there. I just went there, wanted to get out the house after all the paperwork I'd done to get my old job back. So I go there, and just as I open the door, I see Andrew and some of his friends. So it was good to see you, Andrew. And it was a pretty cool show. And now that I'm getting my old job back, I'm going to be working 4 days a week. So I plan on checking out Ohio Valley Wrestling next Wednesday. It happens to be the developmental system of TNA, and they got some wrestlers that could eventually move up to the TNA roster. So we'll see how that goes. Um, and while we wait for Kimberly, next week gonna be will be our Royal Rumble show. We're gonna make our picks for the Royal Rumble. Who you think is gonna win the matches? Who you think is gonna be the who's gonna win the Royal Rumble match? You know, with Everborn out, someone else can take that opportunity. You know, I mean, you might as well put Mick Foley in, since Everborn ain't gonna be there, and it's not 40 superstars. They put it
What
back.
the fuck was Mick Foley doing there anyway?
Well, he
I heard what he said, but still, come on, get the fuck out of it, dude. You're old as fucking molasses.
well, I guess he wanted to end things on a good note with the WWE because he went to TNA right after. He didn't like the direction that he was in. He was a SmackDown commentator. He didn't like that direction, so he part ways with WWE, and he went on to TNA, and then they had a disagreement led to him being released. So he's back. He wants to earn back the good graces. He wants to end things on a good note. And you might as well put him on. You might as well put him in the Royal Rumble match. Evan Bourne's not going to be there. And
You'll probably see The Undertaker. Maybe Triple H will be in that thing.
yeah, maybe definitely Triple H. As for Undertaker,
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe even Heartbreak Kid will come out and do it.
that, yeah, Shawn Michaels, man. Maybe for old times' sake, but I think people just want their last impression of Shawn Michaels is the classic match he had with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. They don't want to say, well, he was at the Royal Rumble for 10, 15 minutes. So, we shall see. We shall see. Oh, and check this out. As you heard on the previous Monday Night Raw, 4 Horsemen has been inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And Ric Flair, who is under contract with TNA, by the way, has confirmed he's not only going to be there in attendance, but he's going to be on stage with the rest of the 4 Horsemen.
Cool.
So you get all 4 members. You get Wyndham. You get You get Flair, you get Anderson, and you get Terry Blanchard. You get all four members side by side. And this is the first time the four horsemen are together since the WCW days. Uh,
Nice.
so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Um, so yeah, Ric Flair has confirmed he's going to be there. And also Mil Mascarius and Rated R Superstar Edge will be there. The tickets go on sale for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony right now. You can go to WWE.com and get your tickets or whatever. They're going to be in Miami, Florida throughout the weekend. On another story I want to address, Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, the man who will be facing John Cena at WrestleMania. He's got a new movie hitting theaters next month called Journey 2. Now he also got the G.I. Joe movie, and he's got the movie he's working on right now called Snitch. Who knows, The Rock may appear on the Royal Rumble. Gotta be thinking about all these names. You
You know
know,
what? He might. You know what? And that movie Journey 2, I don't know if you ever seen the first one.
nah, I haven't seen
The
the
first one, you gotta see the first one to watch the second one. The first one is ass kicking. It's got Brandon Fraser in it. It's really fucking cool. That movie Journey 2, it's called. I will definitely see that. I love those type of movies, man.
All right, and you know, The Rock got his start as an actor on the Scorpion King. Well,
Right.
there's a new Scorpion King that just came out. It's available on DVD, and it stars Kimbo Slice and former WWE wrestler Dave Bautista.
Right.
So yeah, that's coming out.
Gonna be fun, ain't it?
Yeah. Four Horsemen, they aren't including Old Anderson, so it isn't technically the original Four Horsemen. Well, all I know is that Blanchard, Anderson, Wyndham, and Flair, they all going to be inducted as the Four Horsemen. This is technically going to be Ric Flair's second time inducted to the Hall of Fame. He's inducted as a singles competitor, and now he's inducted as a he's now inducted as a member of the Four Horsemen. Yeah, Arm Anderson is going to be there. Uh, it's long overdue for Arm Anderson. He is so underrated. I mean, such a talented wrestler. I mean, he's not as flashy as Ric Flair personality-wise, but when he was in that ring, he could compete with the best of them. And he won champion. He showed he could hold his own. But I guess people got that Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen feel to it. Flair was Jordan, Anderson was Pippen. He was the sidekick. He was second fiddle. Well, he can compete against anyone. Anyone, anybody. So who else should be inducted into the 2012 Hall of Fame? We had a discussion over this. Yeah, J.J. Dillon, he's going to be there too, Fozzie. He's going to be there. I think he's going to be the one inducting the Four Horsemen. So not only he's inducted, I think he's going to be the presenter. Either that or someone else. Yeah, so J.J. Dillon, he will be there. He will be inducted as well. So Four Horsemen, Five Horsemen, so many horsemen. I mean, if you want to know what being a stable is, way before DX and NWO or Evolution, you go to Four Horsemen. They were one of the first stables that became larger than life, big personalities and stuff. You know, I don't know why WWE's taking so long. They need to induct Macho Man Randy Savage already. I mean, if you're gonna, how crazy would it be if they inducted some other people, and yet they don't induct Macho Man? I understand it's after his death. He was one of those guys that should have been inducted a long time ago. I mean, He was part of that old days, you know, way before the Attitude Era. And there's been a lot of debate on why Ash has was inducted to the Hall of Fame a year so early, just a year after his retirement. See, the debate is not him being inducted. It's just him being inducted too soon, a year after his last match. Uh, so the Walk should be inducted, says Fozzy. I definitely believe Walk will get his induction. I really, and it would make sense for him to be inducted in his hometown of Miami, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen. I have a gut feeling that it's not going to happen. But it would make sense if he were to be inducted in his hometown of Miami. Um, who else should be inducted to the Hall of Fame? There's a lot of names. There's a lot of names that comes to mind. But Macho Man Randy Savage should be inducted before everybody else. You get Macho Man out there, then you can induct whoever. Now, if The Rock gets inducted before Macho Man, I probably won't have too much of a problem. But they need to get Macho Man inducted. Stop playing the rating game. Just get the man inducted already. He's well deserved. I wonder if there will be a celeb induction this year. You know what, Fozzy? I'm getting irritated of that celeb induction. They need to remove that celebrity ring. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Uh, Inducted celebrities to the Hall of Fame just because of one moment when you have wrestlers that's been around for many, many years. Like Drew Carey, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame because he made an appearance at the Royal Rumble. Now, I'll give you Mr. T because of WrestleMania. I'll give you that Milwaukee Brewer announcer guy. I forgot what his name was. I give you a couple of celebrities that should be inducted. You know, they even inducted William the Refrigerator Perry to the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose. But I think we all know what Hall of Fame he should be deserved. Bob Barker, no. No. No way Bob Barker. Yeah, he gets inducted in the Hall of Fame because he was on WrestleMania and got tombstone by Kane. So I think people just don't take the whole celebrity ring so seriously. It's a bit of a joke. Um, so you know, just get Macho Man in, and everyone else could be inducted, whatever. So you know, I got a lot of names out there, but which definitely we shall see. We shall see. My Skype has been on and off, and I guess every time she tries to call, that's when Skype goes off. I mean, I am.
Tell her to use the her phone.
Uh, she's not calling in via Skype. She's calling in via phone.
Oh, and your Skype is screwing it up.
Yeah.
Figures. Hey, at least she said something about it, you know.
Yeah. That's why Kenny should be the Skype. See, see, Andrew. This has been happening to me for months now. Skype just appears to go on and off when I'm on it. So I really don't know what else to say. I really don't. So let's just go ahead and get to the Impact recap here. Impact last week went through a couple of things. ODB has had a romance. See, first Zack Ryder and Eve, and now ODB and Eric Young. OD and Eric Young's been trying to flirt with ODB, and these two people are completely different. Eric Young has that Santina Moella comic view feel to it, and ODB is a legit good wrestler. She's like I always like calling her a female Stone Cold Steve Austin, cause she similar to Stone Cold. She likes to drink beer and just curse up a storm. So they are two.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I'm just saying who she is and how she rolls. So obviously, ODB started kissing Eric Young, and ODB had a match with Winter. Goes on to win that one. Crimson and Matt Morgan defeated Robert E and YBT to retain the tag team titles. James Storm defeated Kurt Angle in a number one contenders match. James Storm will now be facing his former Beer Money tag team partner, Bobby Roode, who is the current champion. Oh, actually, he's going to be facing Jeff Hardy, excuse me. Jeff Hardy is the new champion. So it's going to be James Storm versus Matt Hardy at Against All Odds pay-per-view. Good guy versus good guy. So here's Jeff Hardy, who screwed up for most of 2011. And then later that year, he starts to earn the good graces. And then at Genesis, he wins the championship. So now, apparently, he is the man. Now you got to take on James Storm, who is a former Impact Heavyweight Champion himself. That should be a good match at Against All Odds. More matches to be announced tonight on Impact Wrestling. And you know, to me, as far as Impact
Wrestling to me sucks. I don't even watch it. It's gay. I can't find myself watching it, man. I just can't do it. Sorry, old timers.
Well, it is a lot of old timers, but you know, like I said, they do have the developmental system, OVW, so they will be started to get some young talent out there. They got some young superstars over the OVW. I guess that's been the knack of TNA is that they rely on these old guys and they don't have. I mean, they have a training session, but they don't have the developmental system like what WWE have. They used to have OVW. Now they have Florida Championship Wrestling. That's FCW. So Ohio Valley Wrestling joined forces with TNA a few months ago, and which means occasionally some TNA wrestlers are going to appear on OVW. But basically, that's where you go if you want to be a part of TNA. You gotta be there. You gotta wrestle every week, work your way up. If OVW feels you're good enough, you eventually move up to the TNA Impact roster. And that's the place that some of these wrestlers go to if they feel you need to work a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. TNA Impact is tonight, and there should be some matches announced for the Against All Odds pay-per-view. And I am going to be going to OVW TV taping next week, next Wednesday in Louisville.
Right.
Now, yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to Louisville. It's probably the only wrestling show I'm going to get a chance to go to. I'm not going to be able to go to the Sunday show that much now that I have a job. And the job in the wrestling for on Sunday, UWF, they begin at 6 o'clock, 6:30. I don't get out of work until 7. So I'm going to miss the Sunday shows once I started working again.
Right.
But as for OVW, they on Wednesday, day before Thursday, which I start working. So I can go there anytime I want. Maybe I'll go there and start giving out recaps and stuff. I'm not gonna be able to go. I'm not gonna go every single week. I'll go occasionally. Uh, so now that I'm back and I got this flip cam that I can record, I could do video interviews with some of the wrestlers. So that's what I'm working on. Now that I'm back in Kentucky, I can network more. I can do a lot of things, unlike what I could do when I was in Georgia. At least in Hezbollah, Georgia, to be exact.
Hezbollah.
Hezbollah, Georgia.
Hezbollah.
I'm telling you, man. That's where I'm at. It's funny. People say that you are from Augusta, Georgia, but deep down you're from Hezbollah. It's like a,
Hezbollah.
it's like Augusta Junior. that's like saying, that's like saying you're from New York, but you're not from New York City. You're from Syracuse.
Yeah, correct. But
Yeah,
that's not the case.
yeah. So, it's a small, it's a smaller city. Hezbollah is. Augusta is a bit bigger. Am I coming for the Royal Rumble? Yes, I am. Pay-per-view starts at 8. I get out of work at 7.
When is that?
January 29th. That's the pay-per-view coming up.
So it's next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
A week from this Sunday.
A week from this Sunday, yeah. So, yeah, I will be there. I get out of work at 7. And that should give me some time to get back to the house, get my stuff together, and then just head on to Andrew's house and watch it on his high definition TV. Good Lord, you're gonna have 6 people? Imagine. We'll see. We'll see how long that house lasts after you have those 6 people.
Exactly.
When you have that many people going to watch a pay-per-view,
I watched that shit by myself. It's beautiful.
So, oh man, so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Good times. Even though I had the door closed, yeah, I still can hear
You
my.
can still hear them freaking loud ass broads over there. And it's nothing you can do about it, man.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And
You know what you should do? You know what you should do? You should open up the door and say, hey, listen, since you guys are talking so loud and they can hear you on the air anyway, you might as well just come in here. That'd be a way for them to say, ooh, shit. And they'll shut up without you actually saying it. See what I'm saying?
You want me to be sarcastic? I could be sarcastic.
I want you to be sarcastic. I just want you to be funny. And that's pretty funny. Or you could play with me. Tell him, hey, Jeff can hear your conversation. He just can't really hear what you're saying. He wants you to come in here and talk so he can hear what you're saying. Do that. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. You know that.
Next Thursday, Royal Rumble picks. That's not going to be a whole lot of matches for the Royal Rumble anyway because of the Royal Rumble match. That's going to last about an hour long.
But you think so?
Yeah, it's going to be at least an hour long. That's how.
So it takes at least a half hour, 40 minutes for everybody to get in there, right?
Yeah, and it's going to start off with 2 people, and an entry's going to come in every 90 seconds.
Every 90 seconds.
Yeah, every minute and a half, but every 90 seconds. So yeah, that's just how long it's gonna take to get all 30 people in and 29 people out, and the winner will be headlining WrestleMania. Technically will be semi headline, because we all know what the main headline is gonna be: Rock versus Cena. So. And John Cena said he wants to be WWE champion heading into WrestleMania. So the only way that's going to happen if he wins the Royal Rumble or he wins the Elimination Chamber, which is next month's pay-per-view. They don't have a pay-per-view in March. So
really?
No pay-per-view in March. So that's going to be like a long road to WrestleMania when you don't have a pay-per-view at least in March in between.
So when's it's April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st is the
April
WrestleMania.
1st is the first Sunday,
Yeah,
and that's freaking what is that, WrestleMania?
yeah, WrestleMania.
Uh,
The 31st of March is the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And the week leading up to it is WrestleMania Access, which you get to hang out with the wrestlers and stuff. So there you go. Yeah, busy. One of the busiest weeks of the calendar year. So yeah, and Fozzy mentioned another person, maybe up for a Hall of Fame induction ceremony. As far as females, people saying maybe Trish Stratus, maybe Lita should be inducted to the Hall of Fame. Now, Trish Stratus hasn't been a full-time wrestler for several years now. She's occasionally is there, but she's not a full-time wrestler. Trish Stratus, hands down, should be a Hall of Famer. As for Lita, I'm on the fence with that, but she was a different wrestler compared to other women wrestlers in the WWE. She was the high-flying woman. She wasn't someone that was going to stand in the ring and just beat you up. You gotta catch up with her. She was quite the high flyer. So you got Edge. You might as well add in another Canadian, eh? Adding another Canadian in there. Trish Stratus. If it has to be between the two ladies, it's definitely gonna be Trish first. I mean, 7-time women's champion. That's more times than anyone has won that title. More times than Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. Now, I'm not comparing Trish to those two. Those two are old school. They are legends. But in this era, it was all Trish Stratus. She went for being a fitness model into a success. Now, WWE gets blasted on because they get all these models that ended up becoming wrestlers. They don't get wrestlers first. So, maybe it's not that strong of a roster in the WWE Diva roster. Your top two wrestlers are Beth Phoenix and Natalia. And Beth Phoenix has yet to be televised this year. Now Natalia is there, and I think they no longer doing that Divas of Doom or Divas of Salvations and stuff. They're just letting them go their separate ways. And that's the case. What they have in store for Beth Phoenix once she actually comes to the WWE, comes back, makes her 2012 debut. Uh, Only time will tell. I want to thank everybody for listening to us tonight. Next week is our Royal Rumble picks, so tune in for that. See who Jeff and I picked to win the Royal Rumble. This Saturday on Chillin', we have entertainment news and 2011 music albums. And check out the website chillinbroadcasting.com. Thank you everyone for listening tonight. You can listen to past shows on ITMI on demand. And you can listen to past shows on chillinbroadcasting.com. Check out the website, people. Thank you everyone for listening. You all have a good night. And we'll see you Saturday on Chillin'. And we'll see you next Thursday night right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, right here on ITMIRadio.com. You